Hi, this is Russ Jeffers from mobileburn.com, and here I've got the LG Vuity Smart. This is a new touchscreen device from LG with an 8 megapixel camera, Wi-Fi, a 3-inch WVGA touchscreen and also Dolby Mobile, and it's running their S-Class user interface. It also has DivX support for DivX videos, and as you can see it's quite a thin and attractive looking handset. So we're just going to have a look at that in a minute, but we're first going to have a look at what's in the box. So first of all we've got the headset here. Unfortunately there's no 3.5mm audio port on the LG Vuity Smart, so instead you have to use the LG proprietary port, which is for it's like a multi-port for charging data and also the headset here on the side. And as you can see that's the connection there on the headphone adapter. Lucky enough it's an adapter to a 3.5mm normal headphone jack, so you can use any normal headphones. And it's got a microphone and a call answer and end button on it as well, so you can make calls, and you can even use your own headphones with this, so you can make calls through your own headphones. The included headphones, although they've got a nice 3.5mm jack, they're actually quite cheapy, and they didn't really stay in my ears because of the design, but the sound from them was quite good, so you could get through them, get by with them as long as they fit your ears. Moving on from that, we've also got the charger, again straight into the same connection, so it's the same port type there. And we've also got the USB cable for the data, which again is the LG connection type, so just normal USB. We've also got the battery here, which is an 1000 mAh battery. During our test this was good for about 2 days of just sort of normal usage with a few calls and text messages. And you've also got some software, which is LG's PC Suite, and also a user guide, and just an installer guide on the back there as well. So that's what you get in the box. Just going to have a quick look at the handset as well. As you can see you've got the 8 megapixel camera lens on the back there, autofocus camera as well, and you've also got this single LED flash. Despite being an LED flash, it's actually quite bright, so it's quite a good one. And then down here it's just got the little DivX and Dolby Mobile logos, just to show you what the phone's got inside. You've got the charging headset and data port there, as I said earlier, and it's a covered port, so you can keep all the fluff and stuff out of the port just by clipping that over. And you've got the volume rocker there as well, which is sort of oddly placed in the middle of the handset. Usually you expect to find the volume rocker further up the handset, but nevertheless it still works fine there. And you've also got the camera shutter button here, which is a 2-stage camera shutter button, so you push it a little bit to focus and then all the way to actually take the photo. On the other side here we've got the multitasking menu button, so you press and hold that for the multitasking menu, or if you just give it a single click you get straight into the cube menu. There's also a micro SD port here, which is thankfully not under the battery compartment. It's just on the side, so you can access that even with the battery and the SIM card still in. Unfortunately you don't get a micro SD card with the device though, so we've put our own in there, but you do get 1.5 gigabytes of memory built in. The power button is just on the top here, and that's also used for locking and unlocking the screen, and there's also a lanyard eyelet here as well for any lanyards that you might want to put on the device. On the bottom there's just a microphone pinhole. So that's the device. I'm just going to take a look at some of the software now. So as you can see we've got the device fired up now, and just tapping this button on the top here will actually bring the screen on, and then you can unlock it by pressing and holding the button on the display here, and that brings up the default home screen. You can set any of the 4 different home screens as a default, and you can see all the home screens just by clicking the cube menu button here on the side. This brings up this cube menu, and you can just swipe across the display to navigate through the different home screens that you can select from. So if we just go to the widget one and tap on that, that'll bring straight up the widget home screen. You can also switch between screens just by flicking across the display from within the screens themselves, which sort of begs the question of why the cube menu is actually needed, but nevertheless it's still quite a nice looking function at least. Starting with the shortcut screen here, you can see we've got these 9 icons. And these are user customizable, so you can actually change these to suit any functions that you use the most. And then there's 4 icons along the bottom here which aren't user customizable. Starting on the left here you've got the dialer button here. The next one is a contacts button, and the next one's the messaging for SMS and MMS messages, and then the last one's the main menu. So just hit the main menu quickly and have a look at that. You can see we get these 4 rows of different icons. The top row is all for communication, the next row down is for multimedia, and the next one is utilities, and the last one is settings. And any of these rows of menus can actually be scrolled across horizontally to find more different bits and pieces within that menu. So all your items for communication, like your web browser, contacts, messaging and email and stuff, are in the top one for communication. Then you got your games and your cameras and stuff like that in multimedia. Then you got your calendar and your world clock and your calculator and stuff in utilities. And then just all your settings for profiles and screen settings and stuff and Wi-Fi and that in the settings menu at the bottom. So all of those can just be scrolled across, which is quite nice in a way, but in some ways it might be bad for new users, because you wouldn't necessarily know that you had to scroll across. You can see if you actually touch it, you get the little arrow come up at the side, but it quickly fades out, so you wouldn't actually know that you could scroll across. But nevertheless, if you turn the phone on the side, you get all the icons at once on the screen. You can see they're just a little bit smaller and without their little tags underneath to say what they are. And it's quite a nice transition as well between the two different orientations.